So I'm at the very end of the junkyard and I found the ladies' room. Oh man, that's a hell of a walk if you gotta pee. What is going on, guys? Welcome to Extreme Daily Drivers, where we're always balling on a budget and wrenching in our garage. And today is going to be more of an update video. I'm not going to be doing any wrenching in our garage, but I'm going to give you a couple kind of snippets of what I have been working on. So let's get started with not only the Jeep Commander, but also we're going to touch on the sale of the XB. So to kick things off, let's talk about the old Commander here. So as you guys know, I've had this car for a little over a month now, and if you don't know that, shame on you, you're not keeping up with the channel, but that's okay because you can always go back and rewatch these things. So I'll go ahead and put a link down to the video down in the description box. But anyway, yeah, this thing has been my daily basically for the last month, and let's talk about what I've encountered and what I've done to it in the last month, because you know I've been working on this thing off camera, or actually on camera, just haven't put the videos out yet. So I bought this thing in Virginia, I drove down here to Orlando, and on the way down when I pulled off I-4, I noticed that there was a noise coming from the front right corner. It didn't take long. It didn't take long for this thing to start making a noise. And sure enough, after further review, I decided that I had a bad wheel bearing, okay, up here on the front passenger side. So, you know me, I didn't just replace a wheel bearing. I replaced rotors, pads, calipers, wheel bearing. Golly, what else did I replace in here? Oh, I bought new tie rods, hadn't installed them yet, get into that, and a lower control arm with all new bushings and the lower ball joint already installed, and a new axle. That's right, I bought all of that stuff for right here, this right hand side, because I figured if I'm going to start taking stuff apart, let's just replace everything and not have to worry about it. So that seemed like the right thing to do. It also seemed like it was going to make installation a lot easier because I'm just going to pull everything out and replace it with all new stuff. But if you guys know anything about these Jeep Commanders, there is a bolt that is like impossible to remove. And when I say impossible, I don't mean it's really hard. I don't mean you have to have like an air gun or something. I don't mean that, you know, it took 20 minutes to remove. I mean, it's impossible to remove. That's right, it's impossible. So what happened was I took the entire wheel apart, everything off, brakes off, everything off, and I came to what's called the clevis bolt, which holds the bottom of the strut to the control arm, the lower control arm. And dude, it was seized to the bushing. Happens all the time. Actually happened 3 times on this car. And the way I fixed it was, I just went ahead and sawed it off with a grinding, put a cutoff wheel on a grinder, cut the bolt right off, no problem. But on this car, man, it's not that easy. So what I did was, I realized that this bolt wasn't coming out despite me pounding it with a sledgehammer. It wasn't moving, it wasn't gonna come out. Had to put everything back together again, and then go see my buddy Junior and my buddy Randy. I brought it to them and I said, guys, I need your help here. And they were awesome, they were able to help me, but it took an hour with 2 air guns and an air hammer to remove that bolt, and it actually came out, believe it or not, fully intact. But to give you an idea of what we were dealing with, to give you an idea of kind of what was going on there, I saved this bolt. Now this bolt went into the lower control arm, okay? Now this is what it's kind of supposed to look like. Obviously this is an older bolt, you know, you can kind of see some rust on the threads there, and you know, it's really not a bad looking bolt for being 14 years old. Or 15, I should say, right? But this was what its partner looked like. Dude, what is going on there? What happened? Did somebody put acid on this thing? Like, what in the world is going on? So yeah, this was my first encounter with a Jeep Commander trying to repair something. I came across bolts that were destroyed and needed to be manhandled. And this is one of them. So this is kind of some of what I got to deal with the Commander. Now the good news is, you go down to the dealer. Dude, you go down to the dealer, you walk in, you say, hey, I need a bolt, and they give it to you. They have everything in stock. So this is what like a new one looks like. This goes through the lower control arm. But that's what a new one looks like. I got a couple others in here for when I do the driver's side. But yeah, that was kind of first stop with the Commander. And that was tough, man. It was tough, but it fixed everything. It was a bad wheel bearing, and it's got a new axle now, new brakes on both sides, new pads, new rotors, new pistons, And then on this side, the new lower control arm and newer bolts and all that kind of stuff. So the passenger side is set, man. It's all good. But I've been doing some other stuff to this car. So one of the things that I've done is I detailed the exterior of it. And I know it doesn't look all that great right now because it rains like a hurricane every day here this time of year in Florida. But it is totally protected. It's nice and clean. I clean up the wheels. The wheels are totally shot, dude. I mean, they're just like ready to just, you hear that? That's the finish. Yeah, these things are done. The wheels are done. Tires are in great shape, but you know, we're not going to keep these wheels and tires anyway. They're coming off. And what else have I done? What else have I done? Oh, I replaced the headlight bulbs. I replaced the fog light bulbs. I replaced the license plate bulbs because somebody put LEDs in here. I don't think it was the previous owner. I think it was the guy before that. And this car, if you know anything about this car, it doesn't like LEDs. So it just has regular halogen bulbs in there now. Everything works great, looks great. I got a nice little stubby antenna, like 12 bucks off of eBay. Super rad, way better looking than the giant stupid thing that was on there. And let's see, what else did I do? Oh, dude, let's talk about speakers and all this fun stuff in here. So the awesome people over at Toto, man, reached out and they said, how would you like a new stereo for your car? So I went ahead and installed this S8 Premium. This thing is the absolute Rolls Royce of car stereos. I'm going to be doing an installation and walkthrough video on this as well as a backup camera next week. So you have that to look forward to. This thing is killer. You do not want to miss that video. I can't tell you how awesome this thing is. I mean, I just can't go on enough about it. So that's all coming next week. I also changed out the speakers in all 4 doors. And the reason is the previous owner or the person before that went ahead and put in some aftermarket speakers in here and they did not work properly. So I'm going to try to make this as short and sweet as possible without getting totally technical about how this car actually works with its electronics. But basically, when Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep made this car, they came out with this crazy wiring system called CAN bus. And CAN bus is different than anything else you've ever seen. And as a result, it makes messing with wiring even more difficult on this car than would really basically be on any other car, especially if you have a limited package like I do. So this car comes with an amplifier and upgraded speakers from the factory because it's the limited. It has Boston Acoustic 6-speaker installation along with an awesome amp. If you mess with the system at all, if you upgrade the amp, if you upgrade the speakers, if you upgrade your head unit, it's not a typical install. It gets complicated. So the best case is to just leave it stock. If you want to update the head unit, that makes all the sense in the world. But as far as the speakers go, stock is the way to go. So that's what I did. I went to the junkyard. I found an old Commander. I started to tear it apart and get what I needed. $28 later, I had 4 awesome Boston Acoustic speakers. Brought them back here, put them in the doors, and found some terrible wiring in the doors. My goodness, wound together junk. So I'm installing the speakers today and check what was done previously by the previous owner or whoever did the previous install. Check out this quality, huh? Amazing. No wonder they sounded terrible. And then when I took the door panel off, I ran into another super common issue with these things, and that is I broke the door handles. So to give you an idea what I'm talking about, here is the driver's side passenger door, and yeah, it's missing something. It's missing the handle. It broke in my hands when I took this door panel off. This is a real common problem for these Jeeps, and because it's a common problem, they have a really easy fix for it. 30 bucks, you get 2 new handles, and it's not hard to install. I'll be doing a video on that coming up soon. So as far as the back of the Jeep goes, I got this awesome organizer for like 45 bucks off Amazon. Fits in here perfect, connects to these already pre-existing D-rings, super secure. And dude, check this out. It has an actual cooler, like for real. I can put ice in here and just keep drinks cold all day, or food or whatever. Totally perfect for going to the beach. Awesome little organizer here. You can even organize these even more if you want to. This is perfect for going to the grocery store and you just want to throw some groceries in here and you don't want them rocking all over the car. And then I'm gonna unclip it here to show you guys what I got underneath, because you know, you can't have a Jeep or a truck or whatever and not have a WeatherTech mat. And check this thing out, man, huh? Totally awesome, fits perfect. I got the 3rd row folded down, obviously. Look how the rim goes all the way around and all the way around the back. Totally awesome. So if anything ever spills in here, like oil, it'll be contained on this mat and I won't have to worry about it getting anywhere. Now, as far as some other maintenance that I've done, I've changed the oil. Oh man, who put this on? And I've changed out the spark plugs. And look at this, man. There's absolutely nothing left there. Can you see that? There's nothing. I mean, this is a disaster. This is probably why I'm getting 15 miles per gallon right here. So those videos are going to be coming up super soon. The Commander is going to be the new daily, and I'm excited about it, man. I've been driving this thing, like I said, for a month now, and it is awesome. It is really, really cool, and I have tons of plans for it. Just to give you an idea real quick of what we're going to be doing, kind of the look we're going to be after. To sum it up, we're going to be doing more of a Land Rover Discovery build and less of a typical Jeep Wrangler build, okay? So what my goal is for people to look at this thing after I'm done with it and kind of squint their eyes and be like, is that a Jeep Commander or what is that thing? Not to kind of like see it and hear it coming and be like, oh my God, what is that monster, right? I'm not building a monster. I want to build something that is kind of refined, but not, you know, not something you don't want to take off road, obviously, but something that is kind of refined, a little bit quiet, but still going to have some power add-ons and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's what you have to look forward to with the old Commander. And again, next week, backup camera install, as well as the Ototo S8 premium review and install on that. If you guys have one of these things, especially if you have a limited, you don't want to miss that install because it's loaded with information that you need to know if you have one of these cars. All right, now let's talk about the reason you're all here. You're all wondering what's going on with the XB. I don't see it in his driveway. It's not in his garage. Does he still have it? What happened to it? The XB sold. That's right, it's gone. And it went to a subscriber. Couldn't be happier with it. Congratulations, Justin. You're gonna love that car. Super excited that it went to you. Justin hit me up less than 12 hours after the video went out, made me an offer. I had a bunch of other offers too, all of them super strong. So there was a lot of action on the XB, and I'm really happy it went to him. He's a great guy. He's gonna really enjoy the car. He's a huge XB fan. He's a fan of the channel as well. So I'm super happy about that. So anyway, guys, that's gonna do it for today's video. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. We're gonna be back next week. I told you, a Toto S8 install and the backup camera. And dude, wait until you see this backup camera. It's literally like nothing you've ever seen before. It's not a regular old backup camera, dude. It is insane. So stay tuned for that next Tuesday, 3:30. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Later.